In today's Take of the Day, I want to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers and how they should start out the beginning of their season. Now, before we get into that, please like, subscribe, also hit the notification bell, just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. We put out content every day, so you won't miss any content here. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into this. The Clippers start their season. Well, everybody starts the season this week, of course. Clippers start their season on Thursday, I believe. First game against the Warriors. It's definitely going to be, not an easy one. The Warriors, they play hard, they play tough, and they show a lot of toughness in their preseason. When we watch them play, and I specifically thought that I thought Klay Thompson would be ready for the beginning of the season, but he's not. So that definitely gives the Clippers an advantage, playing against the Warriors, as the season starts. But the main point of emphasis is, I feel like the ClipGang, Clippers Nation, you got to start off this year with a bang. You got to start off the season with a bang. The first 5 games of the season, they got the Warriors, the Trailblazers, the Cavaliers, and they play the Trailblazers again. And I believe they got the Grizzlies as well. And maybe not quite in that order, but those are 5 winnable games. I'm not going to sit here and say I feel like the Clippers should go 5-0, but bare minimum, I think they should go 4-1 in those first 5 games, just to kind of give themselves an idea of what type of team they're going to be, and mentally give themselves the strength to know that they can go out there and be one of the best teams in the West and actually prove it at the same time. So, with that being said, we have to see, what the Clippers put out in regards to, how they played this full season, without Kawhi Leonard and all those type of things. But I feel like sometime when you're missing, one of your great players, or you're missing a valuable piece or something like that in a situation like this, the way the Clippers are in, I feel like if you come out with a bang and come out and with the energy, the mindset of, we're still a really good team. We still can win. We can't win a championship probably without Kawhi Leonard, of course, but we can win enough games to be a formidable team and secure a playoff spot. And, to do that, when you're shorthanded, you want to come out and, get as many wins as you can, come out and put these games away as quick as you can, and, come out with that burst of energy that a lot of teams think you might not have just because you're missing one of your main players. And, of course, a lot of the media is sitting there saying, or not even talking about the Clippers anymore, or not even giving them a contender status of a team anymore because Kawhi Leonard isn't there. So with all the doubt and the hatred that the Clippers have already gotten throughout this point, they have to utilize this time as a motivational tool for them to propel through the season. So their first 5 games, when you have a 5-game stretch like this, you got to at least go 4-1 if you're a team like the Clippers, because you're good enough to do it. You have the talent to do it. The Warriors, Steph Curry by himself with, a bunch of role players. That's a really beatable team. Not sure if James Wiseman is going to play or anything like that as well, but that's a really beatable team. The Trailblazers, you got to play them twice within your first 5 games, but you should at least be able to get 1 game out of that. Now, bare minimum, I would say 1 game, but you're hopeful that you can get both. And it's possible the Clippers can get both of those games. So you have to look at that in an aspect. Now, the Cavaliers, you definitely should win that game. And, of course, the Grizzlies, that's going to be a tough one, kind of. But at the same time, you have enough firepower to beat them. They're not really that good of a team. They snuck in last year through the play-in tournament by beating the Warriors. So, if that tells you anything right there, that might be one of the toughest teams you're going to play physical-wise. So, so it's like, to me, in a stretch like that, you have to go at least 4-1. And I feel like that's what the Clippers are. Of course, they're aiming to go 5-0. They're aiming to, get through the whole season. But I definitely think in a situation like this, you want to start off the right way, and you want to start off with the right intentions. And everybody needs to step up and play as hard as they can every night. And if they do that, not only they could find themselves 4-1 or 5-0 in the first 5 games, within the first 20 games of the season, they could find themselves in a very good position, maybe 3rd, 4th seed. At best, it's very possible. Now, of course, ending up in the 3rd or 4th seed, that's going to be very hard to do without Kawhi Leonard. But, they could find themselves early in the top seeds in the beginning of the season if they, come out and play the right way and play with a lot of hard energy that I know that they can. They could find themselves as a early seed in the in the early part of the season. Now, as the season goes on, they might end up. I think they're going to end up maybe 6th or 7th seed, something like that. But I think they could secure a spot somewhere in there. So I definitely don't want to put too much emphasis on that right now because it's too early. But I definitely think it's good to come out and show everybody that you're ready to go. This is a new season. Kawhi is coming back, but until then, we can hold it down until then, and we're a very good team until he comes back. But when he gets there, they'll be a great team. And that's the notion that the Clippers have to implement to each other, and that's what they have to play like every night on the floor. They have to play like they're mentally the better team. And they can keep up with these teams, somewhat still until Kawhi Leonard comes back, So that's the notion I feel like they should have. And that's where I feel like the Clippers should be in regards to at least after the first 5 games. Because after the first 5 games of the season, you'll kind of see exactly a lot of the things the Clippers are going to want to do as the season progresses. You'll see exactly like, okay, is Ty Lue switching lineups a lot, or is he sticking with one lineup? Does he like this lineup the best? Is there pretty much any dip in anybody's minutes or increasing in somebody's minutes that you didn't see last year? Whatever the case may be, the first 5 or 10 games, you should see those things. And now, like I said, these first 5 games, the Clippers should dominate. I feel like they will. Now, going forward after that, they're going to have to keep up that momentum if they can do this. But I definitely think they will. I definitely can foresee them being 4-1, and I think that's bare minimum the mindset they have to have. Of course, 5-0 is better, of course, but you have to at least go 4-1 to start off this season and get yourself going in the right track. Because, I know they say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But sometimes if you start well, a lot of times, it ends well also. It can operate or happen that way. So that should be the Clippers mindset going into these games. I feel like Paul George, he's going to step up. He's going to do what he needs to do. I don't know how much, his stepping up is going to help if he doesn't get the contribution from everybody else. But, he definitely has to get that same Reggie Jackson from last year in the playoffs. Definitely got to get a more consistent Marcus Morris. Definitely got to get a more enhanced basketball IQ Zubac. He has to definitely get, Zubac has to step up, take it to another level. He's been in the league for couple years now. So got to kind of pick it up, see more from him. Hopefully that, Serge can stay healthy and, see what the younger guys on the team can do and how they can contribute. And maybe they can keep it afloat, until the best player comes back, which is Kawhi Leonard. But hey, that's my take on the situation. Leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. How do you think their season should start off, or what mindset should they have, and do you think they should start off fast and try to push as much as they can, or do you think as long as they just stay copacetic during the season and maintain, you think that's good enough? Whatever you think about the situation, whatever you think about the opinion, whatever you think about the situation itself, leave your opinion in the comment section as always, and we'll talk about it. And hey, Cali out.